Tell me about how you feel about getting in the car now.
I'm just not about 2 miles away with no traffic on the road. I think I could do it. And after that, I I would really rather that there not be traffic on the road.
Okay, so tell me how you feel.
Terrified.
Okay, and where do you notice that in your body?
Okay, good part. It is in my body. Does my spleen count?
I guess.
Okay.
So when you feel terrified, what's happening around your spleen? What are you noticing?
Well, actually, the first thing I notice is that my hands are like
Ah, you're clasping your hands. Okay. So
yeah,
I'd
right.
like you to clasp it and to feel as if you're in the car and you're completely terrified, like you were the other day.
Okay.
And when you're clasping your hands like this,
Mhm.
what's happening to your breath?
Oh my gosh. Hardly any breath. I mean, it is like so shallow.
Okay,
The
so
in
I'd
and
like you
out,
to
maybe
take that
like
position.
this.
Yeah, so take that position, clasp your hands, notice your breath. It's
Yeah.
not
All
happening
right.
much. Okay, what's happening with your shoulders?
Hunched over.
Hunched over. Okay.
I feel it now. It's like
Yeah,
they're
okay. I want you to feel it now. Okay, feel it. Hunched over. Okay.
yeah.
Where are you looking?
Not looking there. I'm looking more
Down at your feet?
down, like down here.
Okay. And what is it that you see there when you look down there?
Certainly my eyes not facing forward. So avoiding whatever it is that's in front of me,
Oh, okay. Avoidance.
right? And
What does this thing that you're looking at, what does that look like? What color is it?
okay, this might take a while because I gotta
You don't have it, that's fine. First thing that comes into your head.
no, no, I don't have it. It's darker. It's there is a color.
Does it have a sound?
The color's closer to black. Does it have sound? No sound that I can distinguish at the moment.
What's the texture?
This is interesting. Something shifted because I'm not clasping my hands the same way. I
Mm,
and
okay.
before my hands were just clasping the same way. Now it's like, wait, were my hands like this or were they like this? Okay. Um, the texture, rough. The texture's rough. And what do I mean by rough? It's like,
All right, I get it.
okay.
So is it that your hands are doing this, that you're kind of wringing out of being nervous?
Before initially it was just one way. It was only one way. And
Okay.
they weren't moving
Okay, so
at,
you
at
were
all.
holding on, like I would say holding on to dear life.
Exactly, yes, holding
Okay.
on to your life. And now it's it's more like anxious. And so it's more like a ringing, like they're this way, they're this way, they're like no place feels right.
Okay. So that's already a shift.
So there's been a shift, yes, just by making myself stay with it to see what kind of color there was.
Yeah. And that's the point. Staying with what you're actually feeling rather than getting caught up in what your head might be chatting on about.
Okay.
So if you find yourself in that position again, which you may do, from this hunch, hand clasping, hardly breathing, looking at your rough black abdomen, what is the smallest? So if you get in that position, what is the smallest thing that you could move that would help you shift out of that?
Okay, may I tell you one other thing? There's a my legs are crossed. Left knee over right.
Okay.
Okay. And now I'm not grasping hands. It's more of I'm grasping my fingers like trying to,
Mm-hmm.
and I think maybe that's going to be the easiest part is for my, like if I'm like this, just kind of rubbing so that I can move out. It's just a little bit.
Okay.
I would have thought unclasping my legs, that's not the easiest.
No, because that's part of you keeping small.
Yes.
So the easiest might be if you're clasping is just to move your little finger. That might be, you might not be able to rub. You might
True,
not
true.
be able to go that far. So just moving your little finger and keeping
Okay.
it moving and noticing what that then does to your breath.
I was going to mention, yes, because that helps my breath get a little bit bigger.
So
Yes.
you could then time the movement of your finger with your breath.
Okay.
So you're now completely focused on your experience rather than what's going on in your mind is that I'm terrified, I'm going to crash, there's danger out there, this isn't safe, all of that noise. And all you've got is, oh, I've got my little finger moving.
Okay.
I can breathe in and I can breathe out.
I can breathe in so much more. Yes.
Okay.
I'm not in danger.
Not if you keep breathing, you're not. But you might if you stop.
Okay. Okay.
Stopping breathing is not good for us.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
Stopping breathing isn't good for us.
Okay. I'm so grateful that you allowed me to record this, Julie. Karen and I are I'm going to watch this with Cameron too, because I can see he must be having instances of this.
Okay, so stay with you. So
Okay.
when you get into that kind of situation, think, what's the smallest thing I can do that I can move to help me out of it? Hopefully you'll remember that. Because in the moment, it can be very difficult. But maybe if you've got Cameron, he can remind you. And if he gets stuck, you can remind him. And hopefully you'll get into this routine that you can keep checking in with yourselves and going, oh, how much clasping am I doing?
Oh my gosh, I just realized my tummy muscles are so sore. I've been like clenching. And I didn't even recognize that I was doing that.
That's what happens. We get caught in the head rather than staying with, oh, this is what I'm feeling. This is what I'm experiencing. This is what's happening in my body. As you said, oh, the feeling is in your body.
So instead of just thinking of how much terror I'm feeling, stick with what? Stick with the soma, with the
Yeah.
symptoms of it.
Yeah. What is it I'm actually experiencing? Where am I looking? What am I hearing? What are my hands doing? What are my feet doing? What's my breath doing? What are my eyes looking at? Are they staring or are they blinking furiously?
Okay, and the only thing I wrote was, what am I? I'm so glad this is on video so I can write it down.
What are you doing?
Oh my gosh.
What are you feeling? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, and my legs have uncrossed.
Okay, good.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I feel like there's like my chest just feels like so tightly drawn in, and it's still like it's like all my chest muscles are wound around a pencil, and then after they're wound around the pencil, then the pencil's twisted and turned tighter. And now it's sort of like unwinding still. It must have started up here.
Yeah,
I
interesting
didn't even
observation.
notice, and I didn't even notice it was involved.
The
It
first
like
thing, yeah.
it started right at around my sternum. I
So it
never
might have started with your breath.
I can see that. Yeah.
And was it there's a car?
Yes. Yes.
And then, oh my God, I need to protect. Yeah, you want to protect your heart. That makes sense.
Oh yeah, so everything's drawn in. Yes. And then protecting like what's right here, these vital organs.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the somatics of it.
Wow.
Now, when you think back to the accident, does it come like a flashback? Do you see yourself still like driving and seeing the car coming towards you?
Um, because I didn't see the car coming towards me. I
So did
only
you feel the shock?
there's two different things. With the accident, yes, there was the shock. What I'm feeling now is wanting to be very careful at an intersection. If there's a green light, almost wanting to stop to look to make sure, okay, everybody going this way to me is settled. And
And what,
there have been lights where the light turned green, but there's a car coming down the road that is coming down fast. I don't move until they are stopped at the stoplight, and then I move.
okay. And what happens to your body when you see the car coming towards the lights?
Clenching,
Yeah. Okay.
clenching, like I stop the breath. I'm holding my breath.
Yeah.
I'm just clenching, waiting to see what the other car is going to do.
Okay. And how strong is that feeling on a 0 to 10?
9.
Okay. And is that the same physical experience that you're closing in, you're maybe clasping the steering wheel?
I think it's down to a 9 because we've already gone through the the kind of
Yeah.
that movement, that posturing, and the breath being like this, like here's the out breath and here's the in breath here. That it's
Yeah.
I
So we,
think that's why it's a 9, because otherwise it would have been a not to 10. It would have been closer to 40 something. Yeah.
okay. So let's bring it from 9 down a bit more.
Okay.
Because you don't want to be stopped at a green light and a car thinks, oh, it's green, so you're going to be moving. And then you get rear-ended because they're thinking, well, why are you not moving?
Right.
So stay with that image of you being like gripping the steering wheel.
Not even, I mean, I'm not even,
Oh, you're the passenger.
I'm really not driving. I've driven since May 6th. Today's June 21st. I've driven a few times going maybe 2 miles away from my house.
Okay. So then let's start with you being a passenger and
Okay.
you closing in. And the car in the accident came from your left?
From on my right side,
On your right.
me being a passenger, just being a passenger, there's already panic and terror.
Yeah, yeah. So we start there
Yeah.
rather than you driving. So, but when you had the accident, the car was coming from your right.
Yes.
Okay.
I was making a left-hand turn. Um, think of a street where mostly,
It's all right. You just need to know. I don't need to know.
all right, that's,
It's
yeah,
it's just so I can watch your eyes and see
okay,
what's happening when it goes to the right. Okay.
right.
So pick up your, oh no, you use your thumb as your magic wand.
Yes. Okay.
All right. So start from side to side.
I don't, help me to think. What is it that I'm viewing?
You're feeling that
Okay.
the closing in,
Okay.
but
I
what
do
we
that.
just did somatically, this is what you are experiencing when you're in the car.
All right.
So you're in the car and you're in that state.
All right. Hang on. Because I've got to get out of that when I'm doing this. Otherwise, I'm just going to stay in that state. It's
Yeah, don't worry.
all right.
It's process. So move.
I was looking at my thumb thinking, okay, it's going to move. And I was thinking, I don't even know what way to move it. What side am I supposed to move it? And inside I'm just getting more and more closed in.
Yeah. So this is
All
the
righty.
difficulty of moving. That's it. That's it. Keep watching your finger. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. I got in and breathed. That's all my focus is. Looking at my thumb and
Yeah,
breathing.
that's it. That's it.
It's funny because when I go around this side, I have double vision.
Okay, so stop at the point at which the double vision starts.
Okay.
Okay, and now from there, go up and down.
I start having double vision here.
Okay, so just go up and down.
It's going up.
Yeah,
When
okay.
I go up and down, there's double vision as well.
Okay, so come just before that. Just before you get to it. Yeah,
Oh.
what happened there? And rest. What happened there?
What I noticed was, oh, my nose is over, I'll move it over, and then I saw the double vision actually started lower. So the double vision, it begins like about here and here.
Okay. So take a breath.
Golly, there's so much more space in my chest.
Okay. And now when you think about being in the car, what happens?
And there's bunching in my, like in this area,
Okay.
there's like kind of rather than like directly here as much. They're still gripping, not nearly as deeply.
So it's moved. Okay.
So it's, I think the other was there, was already there. This was, I was feeling this grip so tightly that I didn't feel what was going, the tightness going on in my stomach.
Okay.
Okay.
So how strong would you say your feeling is now on a 0 to 10?
6,
Okay.
more like 6.
And when you think
I'm even clasping my hands differently.
okay.
Okay.
And when you think about driving now, what happens?
When the car is inside the garage, I feel more indifferent to it just sitting there. The car just being turned off and me being around it, touching it, opening it, grabbing something inside. Hang on, I'm going to blow my nose. Give me just a second. And I fully recognize this is distraction. I'm keeping myself from talking about this.
I was thinking, is the sneezing the feeling or the car getting up your nose?
I feel my chest tight. And I recognize there's still breath. There's more breath. Garage door is open and initially I'm thinking, yeah, I'm gonna be on the passenger side. But going into the passenger side doesn't feel as scary. Being on the passenger side feels more like a 4. To open up the door to the passenger side feels more like 4. To open up the door on the driver's side feels more like a 6. And I recognize this car is turned off. Like,
You can't rationalize this stuff. Don't worry about it. Okay.
oh my
Just
gosh.
stay
Okay.
with the feeling. Okay, so I'd like you to now picture yourself or imagine yourself, visualize yourself, whatever word works for you, sitting in the driver's seat and taking the car out. What do you
Taking the car out of the garage.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just imagine my arms going like, okay, they're like first grasping my knees,
Okay.
sitting on the driver's seat.
Okay. So
All right.
stay with that image and then do the eye movements.
Okay. This is where the double vision starts again.
Okay. Yeah. Well spotted. You moved your head rather than your eyes. Now stay right.
I got further into one double vision.
Okay.
See that? Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Okay. Now come right in front, perfectly in front of you, and go up and down. And now do a diagonal. And the other diagonal. Okay, one more and then stop.
Okay. Seems to be a lot more of gunk going on around here.
Yeah, okay. Have
And
a stretch for me. Have a stretch for me. Open up.
yeah,
Yeah. Pendiculation.
I don't know what that word means.
It's what cats do. Cats don't actually stretch, they pendiculate.
And so what is pendiculate?
So all you're doing is you're opening up all your tissues, because stretching is taking your,
Wow,
if you think of
so
stretching
tight.
a muscle, sorry, stretching an elastic band, you're taking it beyond its natural state. With
Okay.
pendiculation, you're just opening up to its full range.
Okay.
You're not going, we never stretch actually. We only really pendiculate. If you stretch, you're just going to damage what your
Ah,
body's capable of doing.
okay. So just doing it over and over and over again to what I can do, then I'm able to do a little bit more.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. What I was thinking, the car crash when I was 10 was on my right hand
Oh,
side. It was my father had run a red light. Isn't that interesting? He'd run a red light, and it was like there's a highway running beneath. We're going we're going in one direction above the highway. And there's a stoplight at here, and there's a stoplight over here. And these cars are stopped. My father sees there's no one in this lane. And the light was this light here was red, and he had not there weren't cars coming in this direction. And so we crossed, and these cars hadn't started. And as we were here above the highway, I looked like, why hadn't the cars that were already there at the light, why weren't they with us? And that's when he realized that he had run a red light, and he slammed on the brakes before entering this intersection. He slammed on the brakes, and I went forward, this side of my face into the windscreen. That's, we call it the windshield.
Yeah.
And I cracked the window. I didn't go through the window, I broke it. And then fell back into the seat of the car. And it was around that time, these cars over here had the green light and had already begun crossing and expected my father to go because there was a green light here, but I was already injured. And well, they had already started, and when we got to here, how was it? Who had green, who had red? Because we got hit from the backside, and that pushed us this way. And then these guys came. I got pushed two different directions after. That's what happened. We got pushed from behind, and that's when I went into the dashboard, and I left my face in the dashboard from the. I was thinking, that's hard stuff. Like, how did it bend like that? It was where my neck had come in. And then the cars over on this side had the green light and expected we shouldn't be there. And we got hit from this direction. Right. So went forward, back, forward again into the dashboard, back, and then got hit in this side. And then my neck was knocked all over the place.
Okay. So take a breath. So when you think about the accident you had in May, what is it that you're still feeling about that?
It was like the accident when I was 10 because I didn't
Yeah.
know what was happening.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware. I couldn't see, oh, there's some car coming. We need to be careful or need to make sure we stay in a particular lane or
Yeah,
anything.
you
It
weren't
was just
you weren't
surprise.
driving. You weren't driving.
I was driving in May. I
No,
wasn't
you weren't
driving
driving when you were 10,
no, I wasn't driving when I was 10. No.
and you weren't responsible.
Oh my gosh. You know what?
And
But
that,
my mother kept telling me I was responsible.
oh, did she? Right, okay. And therefore, when you had the accident in May and you were driving and it still wasn't your fault, you felt responsible.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Okay, let's unravel this accident.
You know what? And I couldn't even, I kept blaming myself that I didn't see that she was coming. But there's on the road, I'm here. She was coming this way. And there's a car that in the left-hand lane to turn when it's its turn. And and the cars on this direction are stopped. There's a car that goes straight. There are two lanes of cars that are coming. So there was a car that was turning this way. There was a car that was going straight, and it was a big truck. So I couldn't, and other cars behind it, so I couldn't even see. Even if I was looking, I probably could not have noticed, because it was a big truck and the other cars behind it, that she was there going straight.
Okay, so can you let go of
And
all
I've been
this
blaming
guilt,
myself.
blaming yourself? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so go back to the accident when you were 10.
So much space here in my chest.
Oh,
Whoa.
good. I'm glad you can breathe
It's
now.
like, this is not like,
Do you see why you ended up with asthma?
oh my gosh. I I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? And asthma has been kicking up. I've been doing my inhaler things and
Mhm.
whatnot. And usually the only time I experience asthma is when it's super cold outside and I'm exerting myself. And that's the only time that I will wheeze. And I'll take some puffs and like that's it for the year. And I've been wheezing all over the place.
Yeah.
Never even thought about that. All right.
Okay.
Legs aren't even crossed right now. Okay.
Okay, I'd like you to go back to when you were 10
Okay.
and the feeling that it was your fault, that your dad went through a red light and then slammed his foot on the brake and you went through the windscreen.
That he did his part, that part wasn't my fault. The that I was not wearing
Seatbelt?
my seatbelt because I was showing my father that I trusted him so much. I never voiced it. I was showing him, like, I trust my father so much. He's going to care for me. We're going to be fine. And the only time that I was in a car accident with my father ever, my father had loads of car accidents on his own. He was constantly getting into car accidents. The only time I ever was in a car accident was that one time. And my mother had told me, wear my seatbelt with my father because he's useless, he's unsafe, he's not going to protect me, he's this bad guy, he's this guy that takes no responsibility. Don't do it. And make sure I wear my seatbelt. Who knows what would have happened if I'd worn my seatbelt? I was in the front seat. The seatbelt was, I was so small. The seatbelt was for an adult. I don't know what would have happened. The seatbelt probably would have been up here against my neck, against, and would have kept me in place and also choked, or maybe done something
Let's not go there.
worse. Who knows?
Go there. Okay.
But because I didn't wear my seatbelt, what my mother kept reiterating year after year when I would tell her there were problems was my own fault. And it's stuff I do with my father, just go get with him. But he's 1,100 miles away. So, yeah.
Okay.
How can you not help your kid? I didn't understand that one.
Because there are mothers who are like that.
Okay. So, and I'm speaking about it and not getting frantic or upset or like, this is like, I'm bouncing in this chair. I'm almost giddy because I have never felt this way. So I would have broken down well before this. I have broken down well before this when we've spoken. Okay. and I can breathe in.
And can you breathe out?
Yes, I can breathe out too.
Good.
I'm not holding, like just holding on to my breath.
Yeah, just breathing in.
Yeah,
That's what we do when we're afraid. We breathe in and then we stop. It's important to breathe out. That's the key in asthma. You have to be able to breathe out in order to be able to breathe in again.
fair point.
Okay, so the memory of that accident when you were 10, what's left of that? Does it play like a movie? Does it?
Still plays like a movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, just play it like a movie on your thumb then.
All right.
Let's run through that.
Okay. I keep moving.
That's all right. I'll tell you if you need to move differently.
All right.
Just speed it up a little bit.
All right.
Nice. Okay, let's do some diagonals. Good. And the other one?
Interesting. I'm seeing double over here.
Okay, that's fine. Just come down in a diagonal. Yeah, that's it. Just keep it moving. And speed it up a bit. Yeah. Okay. And rest.
Okay.
Did anything happen just there?
I had been viewing from above as though I were a little it's interesting, can't think of the word. I'm not thinking of the word at the moment.
A drone?
Drone, thank you. Thank you so much. As though I were a drone and seeing what was happening. And I would get to where the car crossed the intersection on the red. That's a big, I don't know what sort of insect that is. Okay, it crossed the intersection, was on the part between the two lights, like stopped, and I could see in the car that I could see that the car had stopped, but being the drone, couldn't really see inside the car until my face hit on the windshield. And that's all that I could see was that suddenly there's like this face in the windshield and there's a pop in back. And then I'd do it again and I would run through it again and do it a little faster. I'd get through it a little faster. And by the end, there was the car getting hit by the cars on the side. And we started doing the diagonals. And I was seeing inside the car, like being in the back seat and what's going on.
Ah, okay.
And just noticing that, okay, crossing, seeing the car stopped and then going forward. and then the body movement going up, hitting the seat, going forward, going back into the seat, and then moving sideways from the cars over here hitting. And I'm still in the back seat. I'm doing fine. It's just this movie that's going over and over and
Does it
over
always
again.
stop at the same place?
Yes, stops at the same place.
Okay.
Yeah.
When it stops, what do you notice about yourself?
It's like a delayed reaction. And the kid in the front seat, like, doesn't know what's happening, but there's been startlement.
Okay.
And
But what notice with what happens with you right now when the movie stops? What do you notice about your body?
I'm watching something outside of me that's not like it's like it's just this movie on TV that I can turn off, or that is simply on, it's playing, and I'm unaffected. My breathing is calm, and rather than, I guess if it were an actual movie, I might go, oh, something, and I'm not doing that.
Okay.
Maybe because it's happening over and over and over again. There isn't a change in my breath. There isn't a change in my body.
Okay. So I'd like you to just
There's
turn
a
that.
little bit of tension here.
So I'd like you to take a breath and then release. And what happens if I ask you to go and turn that movie off?
Well, even before I turn that movie off, what I'm noticing is that there's a tightness that I never even noticed that is over on this side.
Oh,
Like,
you mean in your pancreas?
interesting.
Hmm. I wondered how we would get back to that.
Okay. Well, and the spleen.
Yeah.
His spleen's
Yeah.
over pancreas, right?
Yeah. That's
Okay.
where we started. That's where it was stored.
And I didn't even notice it. Okay.
Okay. So what would happen if you turn that movie off?
I made it such a part of my identity that and I didn't think I was making it part of my identity, that I was making it part of my identity. I thought it was being part of my identity because it was affecting me rather than me playing it, playing it, playing it.
Hmm. So what will happen if you turned it off? Is it safe to turn it off?
It's not, it doesn't feel safe to turn it on because then I'd forget that it had happened. Why would that matter?
Good question.
Let's just turn it off anyway.
Well, if it doesn't feel safe, what is it keeping you safe from? Or how is it keeping you safe to have this part of your identity?
To remember that I'm hurt.
Okay.
To remember that to remember that I'm hurt, but I mean, I'm not being treated like I'm hurt. The only one that,
Ah,
like, the doctors are telling me I'm hurt. They're telling my father I'm hurt, that I need to like be kept at the hospital, that I need to, and he's arguing he has to turn me over to my mother. So he doesn't have authority to keep me longer. And they're like, no, I need to be kept at the hospital. They need to see if there's like reconstructive surgery to be done, because my face is just swelling so much that they can't tell. They could see from the initial x-rays. The hospital is very, very close by, like we were half a mile from the hospital, and the ambulance comes very quickly, get the x-rays, which was about all that was available back then, done very quickly. And they see that there are breaks in my head and my face, and they don't know like what the repercussion is, what the, and they do know that for the type of accident, they're surprised, because they see it more like an accident of a smaller child, more like a green stick fracture, than where there's a lot of displacement,
right.
because they've heard about the damage inside the car, about how that I broke the windshield and the part from the dashboard. And so they're expecting my face needs to be put right, my head needs to be put right. And they're like, I'm 10, I shouldn't have, my bones shouldn't have just curled or done, I don't know. You're a nurse.
Yeah. So stop trying to figure it out. Stop trying to figure it out.
Okay.
So you're hurt. You're feeling hurt. Is that why? Because you weren't treated the way you thought you should have been treated, you've spent the rest of your life having concussions?
Well, that's a big old yes. That is definitely,
Okay. So
well, and that, I mean, I physically wasn't able. I remember my grandmother telling me just to lie down on the couch, just turning the light down low, looking in on me, and telling me when it was time to eat, when it was time to go to bed, like not really doing, not
which is
making,
what happens when you have concussion.
but that's not how. And my father was fine with letting my grandmother do that. And then he'd come in at the end and we'd have dinner. But it would be like, am I feeling better, or am I doing okay? Am I doing more? Or it was like a nothing. There was a nothing. And with my mother, there was very much nothing at all in, like, what was it, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? We were on an airplane to Europe to do a tour for, I forget how long, of different countries. And I kept feeling like definitely not myself. And going downstairs or looking down things, and there was like the world would spin and shift and whatnot, and there was a lot of nausea and oh well, I'm just getting over this or I'm getting over that. Just keep moving, keep doing, keep whatever, it'll go away. And being on the plate, being on the bear, because there was flight after flight after flight, and there being something wrong in, because I'd been on flights before. It didn't feel like the other flights.
No, because you didn't feel like yourself.
I certainly didn't feel like myself, but there was like, I've never thought about this. I don't know. When you have a concussion, like, can it affect how you feel in a flight? I don't know.
The air pressure changes.
Well, yeah,
Bones are not healed.
and the
Then
bones weren't healed, right? I mean, because I doubt that they would have healed in a couple of weeks, two and a half weeks, something like that.
okay. So let's sort out this identity issue.
Okay.
So I don't feel like myself, which is also
Okay.
what you said after the accident in May.
Yes, very true. I was in a different state and I was thinking it was like New Mexico or something.
Yeah,
Utah.
I know. Okay, so I'd like you to do the figure of 8
Okay.
and just keep telling me I don't feel like myself.
Okay. Out loud?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't feel like myself. I don't feel like myself. I don't feel like myself. Wow, lots of nausea right here. I don't feel like myself. 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 I don't feel like myself.
And pause.
Okay. It's funny. I felt like I was going to fall over. I was dizzy. And I'm just sitting. That's
Mhm.
interesting.
Let's go the other way around.
Okay. I don't feel like myself. 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 I don't feel like myself.
And pause.
Okay.
And
It's
if you
easier
don't,
moving my eyes on this side than it is over on this side.
okay. And if you don't feel like yourself, what do you feel like? Okay. You feel like crying. That's okay. You just keep crying. Let it all out.
I feel like it's lost. I feel lost.
Okay, I'd like you to notice your feet on the ground. Put your hands on your knees. Notice your breath. Give yourself a hug. Well done.
There's lost and there's alone.
Mm.
I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what it was I was experiencing.
Mm.
I was being pretty much treated the same, except by my grandmother. My grandmother, she was looking after me, which, I mean, one would expect that a grandmother would look after. My sense of my grandmother was I was there to do chores with her. I was there to like help her with whatever her routine was. I think she didn't really know how to connect with me. Any rate, it's and certainly my mother telling me about what an awful person she was, and
So she didn't know how to connect with you, and yet she knew how to care for you.
yeah,
So maybe she did know. Maybe you just ended up believing what your mother told you, because that's what kids do.
probably so.
And of course, it's often the reflection of who they are. What your mum was saying about your grandmother was more a reflection of how she was rather than, how your mum was rather than how your grandmother was. Because you can only see in others what you avoid seeing in yourself.
Mhm.
Not just seeing, but complaining. So take a breath. So now you know how to look after yourself.
I don't know that I know how to look after myself.
Yeah, you do.
I'm asking myself if I know how to look after myself.
You do know. If you listen, what is it that I need now? What would you do if you were, you know how to do it with your children, so you know how to do it for yourself. Just think of yourself as a 10-year-old. What
Okay.
is it that you need to do for you to help you through? And you know that when you know that you're not breathing, you can move your little finger.
Yes. Yes.
When you're not moving and you're paralyzed with terror, you can move your little finger, and
Yes,
that will help you unravel from your breath.
yes, I can. I can do that.
And you get to the point where you can uncross your legs and you can keep reminding your nervous system that you're safe. You had that accident age 10. And despite your mother telling you it was all your fault and You know, should have worn a seatbelt and should have this, should have that, shouldn't do this, shouldn't do that. Hey, you've made it this far,
Yeah.
despite having, I count 4, 5 concussions at least that you've told me in that time, and you're still here. So your nervous system does know how to look after you. Now
Yeah.
you can look after you even better. You know what you need to do. You know when you need to give yourself a hug. You know when you need to go and lie down. You know, you told me, you know when you're using avoidance tactics. When you're using avoidance tactics, you just come back to your little finger and your breath and go, okay, stop avoiding it. Just notice what you're feeling. Where is it in my body? How do I move my body to help it move through me? Not hold on to it so tight that it becomes part of you. You don't need that in your life anymore. You've carried that long enough. I give you permission to let it go. And if you feel you're ready, you can turn the TV off.
Oh, yeah, I'd forgotten about it. I had
You can,
forgotten about it. I can
you,
turn it's a black and white screen, and I can pop the button in and turn it off. Actually, it wasn't a pop button. It was like
yeah,
thingy, like
that's what
it's
I thought.
fine. It's absolutely fine.
Are you ready
Yes,
to do that now? Or
it's turned off.
it's turned off. Okay.
It's turned off. It's fine. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't
So,
need that black and white screen anymore.
okay. So let's just come back. When you think about getting in your car now,
Okay.
the little car, the scary car, what was scary? Because you were driving and the
Okay.
car, you,
Okay, so now I'm going into the garage. I'm going into turning on the light, seeing the car, opening up the door, and there's like nothing. There's I'm not feeling it, and I'm not feeling all that stuff that I was feeling before.
right.
I'm sitting in the seat. I'm comfortable in my seat. I like the car. I I really do like the car. It's a comfy car. It has great view, whatever's in the car, like where I can see. Imagine myself sitting in that car. I feel very comfortable. I feel
Okay, so
secure.
I'd like you to stay with that feeling of comfort. That's all you need when you're in a car, to feel comfortable.
Yeah,
Because when you're comfortable, you can relax. And when you're relaxed, you can drive more safely.
certainly. And I see myself turning the car on. I can see myself exiting my garage and being on my driveway and closing up the garage and going onto the street and it being safe. I live on a corner. So sometimes cars come around quickly on a corner and
Safe. Okay.
I'm fine. There's,
Can you go 5 miles out of town? Out from where you are?
yeah, 5 miles is like definitely out of town because it's a small it's a small town. Yes.
Can you go
Um,
10 miles?
yeah.
Can you drive into Houston?
Oh, good on you. You remembered this city. Yeah, I can be on the freeway. I can see myself on the freeway. And
Okay.
there's lots of cars and sometimes they're like going like cutting into lanes and being
Yeah, and you
silly,
can
and I'm
navigate all of
okay.
that. Yeah,
And
right.
I'm okay. Yeah.
You're done, girl. You can
I
drive
don't
now.
I don't feel it as a or anything. It's just my body's relaxed.
Great. That's all
Oh,
I need you to remember.
oh, thank you, Julie.
Well done.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Who would have known I'd been keeping all that stuff? Goodness gracious. And replaying it. And why was I replaying it? Goodness.
Because it became part of your identity. Because you thought it was keeping you safe. To keep remembering all of that. Because that's what your mother told you. And it's not serving you anymore.
No. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You can breathe.
I can breathe. That's absolutely true. And I have been breathing. My breathing isn't sticking. It's not, it's more of a flow than okay, I need to remember to go in or to let go now. It's just more of a flow. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.